Grinding. You can get like a good slow-mo where I'm like,
Yeah.
spit coming out.
Where are we? And what are we doing?
Oh man, since I got hurt again, I'd been thinking long and hard about what I'm going to do next, and I decided that I'm going to make my push for the MLB. So, had an elbow injury, figured the best place to do my recovery was at a place called Pitching Works. And, a lot of elbow problems in baseball. And I was really just inspired, and decided that I too want to throw a baseball at 100 miles an hour.
How'd you find out about this place?
So my brother is in PT school, and kind of shadowed Bo, who actually shadowed under a guy named Dave Huslick, who did my back therapy. So kind of tied into it that way. But it's honestly been really good because of the baseball aspect, my elbow. And it's cool just to watch dudes throw baseballs so fast. So
A lot of progress with the elbow?
yeah, I'm stoked, man. It's 6 weeks today from surgery, and I literally have no pain. I've tried to purposely hold myself back because I feel like I could have rode like 2 weeks ago. So got a follow-up appointment today, and hopefully they give me the green light to at least get back on the bike a little bit, and then in a few weeks I'll be ready to go test. I don't know if you see the scar there, but whenever I was in Vail, they were like, hey, you've got a screw in your wrist, do you want us to take it out? And I was like, heck yeah. So they got it out, and I just got a ton of range of motion back. I know that it doesn't look like a ton of range of motion, but it was like stuck there. So I'm pumped to have a couple more degrees. So I'm stoked.
Getting your strength back, getting your range of motion back.
I don't know if you saw how big my biceps were in there.
You got a pump in
but
there.
they're huge. Yeah. I feel pretty good, man.
So back on the bike in the next couple weeks, maybe?
Yeah, should put me ready for outdoors. Come in hot. Like a fajita.
All right. Anything else for the people?
I don't know. Really, just work hard, be strong. You know what I'm saying?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Hit the notifications.
Do
all that.
hast a good day.
Do hast a good day. That is a good one. So, yeah. I was thinking it'd be kind of cool, like, being that I've been through this process so much, to just talk about that. Like, when you get hurt, what do you do?
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe we save that for another video.
No, when you get hurt, what do you do?
Yeah. Well, you go to the doctor.
Yeah.
But I think it's maybe a little more complicated than that. Like, obviously, your resources can be limited. When I got hurt this last time, I was in Dade City. There's not a lot of orthos in there. It was close to Christmas, so it would have been hard to get into anywhere. But the first thing for me is just get information. So I just went to the ER, got a basic x-ray, something that I could send off elsewhere. And that, to me, that's like step number one. Like, whatever has happened, get information.
Yeah, figure out what's going on.
Yeah, and then you can move that into different channels. You don't have to stay on the care protocol from the ER. You then take your x-ray, CT, whatever, and then send it to people that you trust. And so that, to me, that's like number one. I'm typically big on multiple opinions. So this last time, got my x-ray, knew that it was probably going to require surgery just because of the way it was broken. It's broken into the joint, it was fragmented. So straight away I text 2 or 3 people, hey, this is my x-ray, who do you recommend doing this? A couple people said, hey, Viola's a good elbow guy, go to him. Obviously he has a huge track record. But I wanted that opinion from multiple sources, because it's practice, right? Like, they don't call being a doctor, not like a racer, you're not racing, they're practicing medicine. So yeah, you just want to get the most information you can, and then try to get it to the right channels. From there, getting the surgery straight away, like, for me, this time around, moving my injury, was huge. It was super critical, especially with your elbow. You see a lot of guys locked up I know a few guys recently have had a really hard time with their elbow. So getting that movement right away, obviously you got to be safe with that. But I say movement, but I guess what I probably mean is really recovery, like recovery right away. Like it's tempting in those first couple weeks to just kind of shut down and regroup and eat bad food and sleep in and like all these different things. But I think if you can take that first couple weeks and really pour into your recovery, I think it can really elevate the next month, because you're not starting from square one once you get to taking your sutures out or getting out of a splint or whatever. So that's pretty key for me. A big part of this too is understanding what happened. Like, whenever you have an injury, especially on something like Supercross or Motocross, it's easy to, especially if it's a big crash, a big mistake, to go like, oh man, like I almost don't want to ride for a minute because I'm scared. And so to kind of like use a little bit of this downtime to kind of reflect and go, okay, what actually happened? And could I have done anything differently? For one, maybe I made all the right decisions, it just didn't go my way. But if I could go back in time, is there anything that I would have done differently? And use it as learning, like you hear, I don't have losses, I don't take L's, I learn, but that really is like really important in this time, because when you go back to the motorcycle, you've got to have that confidence to go, okay, I made that mistake before, but I'm going to learn from it and do my best not to make it again. Obviously, we're human, and you're going to crash on a motorcycle, but just having that confidence to go, okay, yeah, that happened. Here's what I can do differently next time. And then maintaining your training as well. Like obviously 2 kids. I just moved. I'm traveling still, so it's kind of difficult for me to really be diligent in that. But I'd say if you're like aspiring to be a great athlete, or trying to make that next step, or even are at that next step and want to continue to not let this injury kind of hinder you, staying active is like so important. Like you can use this time actually to get better in areas. When you're riding all the time, it's really difficult to make good progress in certain areas because the riding actually takes so much away from you as far as being able to build, whether it's muscularly or cardiovascularly, whatever that is. So taking that time in the areas that you can to really grow is also can be, not only can be beneficial from your healing, but I think when you do get back to the bike, you can come back stronger sometimes. People always ask me like how I came back so fast right away. And part of that was because I just rode with my heart, not with my head. But a part of it was I really took my downtime to work on areas that were weaknesses. And then when I got back to the bike, I was better in ways. So it's super important. And then also, like for this injury, for me, like I felt so good. So being able to hold yourself back whenever you can do more, that's really hard. Especially, my arm has felt great. I didn't want to wear the brace. I moved. I was wanting to pick things up. It's like, just because you do feel good doesn't mean that the actual injury is doing well. So just being smart about this type of decisions. That's pretty loaded, but a couple more things that come to mind is, and just enjoy the downtime. I mean, like, yeah, I said stay active, be busy, but I mean, there's just a lot of time that you can have with your family, with your friends. If you're used to traveling all the time, just being able to kick back at home for a minute is a rarity in our sport. So just being able to do that and take advantage of that, and try not to get too depressed when you're not getting the dopamine and the adrenaline that you're used to. And then just to have the confidence, like when you get back to the bike through this period, knowing, hey, I did everything I could do, and there's no reason that I can't be back to where I was or even better. I think that's super key with injuries is, not having that doubt that, oh, maybe I wasn't good enough, or maybe you've had a few in a row and you're just worried there's going to be another one. It's just, you got to separate those events and know that they're not accumulative, like they're not building on each other. You got to separate it and say to like, no, that was then. I'm moving forward, and now is the time for me to take the next step today, rather than worrying about kind of what has happened tomorrow. I learned from that. I'm going to grow from it. Physically better. I'm healed, and now it's time for me to do work.
This too shall pass.
This too shall do hast. This'll do hast to pass, and that's French for it's going to be okay.
All right. Well, that was pretty good. You did good. You looked buff in there.
Dude, I am swole. And that was, I've never done curls, ever.
Yeah, Chris Bumstead recently retired, the #1 bodybuilder in the world. I think that this might be your opportunity.
Well, maybe when I'm done with MLB, I'm breaking the records there for shortest fast guy, I could be a bodybuilder. The shortest bodybuilder. Can you imagine me with, like, traps?
That'd be pretty funny. You think Hannah would like that?
I mean, she's really, like, attracted to me already.
Yeah.
So, can't imagine if she was more attracted to me.
All right. Well, have fun in Phoenix.
Thanks, man. Go Team Honda.